Hey guys, Roger and Jay here from the Roger and Pace podcast, episode number.
Hey,
So
Bobbin, don't wait, mate.
What are we talking about today, Jay?
Awesome. Up he recommends, I'm going to be recommending a book.
I'm talking about this cool little journal app that you can get on your phone. Then we go into the weekly lowdown, sports banter being banned in the workplace.
Yeah, I talk about an apartment that is bleeding. Fool's Paul we go into before midnight, the film.
Sounds great. And I'm just going to go through the Oscars real quick.
Yep.
And then we move into
Maltese Connection.
Maltese Connection. Yes, the ridiculing of a woman for making her husband breakfast. We'll
Yes.
discuss that.
And we also talk about the trad wives movement. Then we get into CVAs and when to do the first kiss.
Yes.
Yes, interesting
Pretty
one.
opinions on that. Gut health, Jay. What are
Yep,
we talking
Hefty
about there?
Smurf. Yep, gut health. And then we finish off with our boom moments, our mindset and positivity moments. Guys, thank you for listening. Enjoy.
How you doing, Jay?
Doing good, mate.
That's good.
Yeah, how you doing, Rog?
I'm all right.
You good?
I'm all right.
How was your
Myself.
week,
You
mate?
see
You
that?
burnt yourself.
Yeah.
How'd you do that?
The kettle is a real dangerous utensil in the kitchen.
Ah, the kettle.
I just literally just leant over, and if you can't see it, it's like it was a huge blister.
Bloody hell.
And, yeah.
Mate, what was so important for you to reach over the kettle and burn
Well,
your arm like that, mate?
Being a carnivore that I am.
Oh, was
I
it the meat?
It was. I'd made a couple of steaks, and the boiling water was to clean the pan. Anyway, that's a riveting story to begin the podcast with. How was
But
your
why
week?
were you reaching over the kettle?
Oh, I don't know, hit the switch or
Oh,
something.
mate,
But,
were you
know, 'cause
grabbing a donut, Rog?
you know the little nozzle at the top?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like steam was pouring
Oh,
out, and I just went,
jeez.
"Sss," and I thought, oh, like that'll be fine. Like it was like half a second, and
Yeah.
then the blister started to come. And, you know, I'm not as tough as I once used to be, so I got the bandage because
No, you need to get back to the gym, mate. Your friend was hitting you up on Facebook.
Robert
Oh,
Zabrowski.
mate.
He's not listening to this.
Now Superman
Yeah.
is in front.
My
now-
loser friend Will Greenwood has just
Oh,
come
Greenwood.
online.
We've got what is this? It's an Instagram live going
Yeah.
on for the podcast viewers on YouTube and listeners.
Will Greenwood,
on-
he likes to go to the gym.
Nice.
Once every 6 months or so.
Will, mate.
Yeah.
Once every 6 months. That's all he needs,
Sorry, Will.
mate.
All right. But anyway, let me talk about my week actually.
Yes.
So,
How'd you go with the meat diet? Did you?
I didn't do it strictly enough because
Yeah.
we had a couple of events on. I met up with some high school friends,
Mm-hmm.
and you know I can't. It was pasta, it was Italian restaurant. And then we had this other event, so I did.
Good old pasta gets ya.
But I did
the end.
consistently for 3 or 4 days, and I felt really good.
Yeah, good.
So it was only those little pockets of meals, which is not ideal, but that's the way it is. But I am back on it. Like I am
Oh, okay.
more committed to.
I haven't
doing
started yet, but
Okay.
I've been eating a lot more meat to get used
Yeah.
to it. And maybe in a few days, maybe by the next podcast, I'll be into it.
Just
So
make sure
we'll
you
see.
get enough calories. That's the
Yeah, the
pretty
calories.
hard.
Yeah, shoot.
I went bowling again.
Yeah, you went.
Went bowling with my brother-in-law
Yeah, wow.
and cousins.
How'd that go?
Yeah,
Did
really,
you improve
really
your
badly.
Yeah.
No, terribly. That just proves how
mentioned-
psychological it is.
You mentioned something about mindset. with
Yeah,
that.
because
Were you intimidated with your?
no, but I'm so competitive. Like I just wanted to win as badly as possible, and I couldn't. Only one of my balls in the whole frame hit the center.
Only
pin.
one of your balls.
Yes, not 2 of them.
You got to swing the hips, mate. You got to really.
Yeah,
It's
So, I
hard
don't know.
work.
I wasn't relaxed enough.
Yeah, wow.
Hold on. I've got blisters everywhere apparently.
Oh, blisters everywhere.
Yeah, Will would
That's
know.
that's a disease, isn't it?
Man, this has not started well.
Oh,
But I'm gonna.
lots of rain this week.
Yeah, lots of rain.
Lots of rain, which has
Leaked in
been
the
great
house.
for great for the fires, but not so great when it starts to flood in places. Some
Can't
towns who were ravaged by fires. I
Yeah.
think the Central Coast is flooding a bit now.
Oh
I've
yeah,
heard,
the
and
car
then-
just completely sank.
Oh my
You said
god,
that?
they can't win,
Under-
poor fellas.
yeah, Anyway,
Jeez.
I finished that book, The 5 Love Languages.
Yes,
Yeah,
Gary Chapman.
I
Awesome.
thought that was actually pretty good.
It is, huh?
Like I was surprised. I thought it was
I'm
a
a
bit
fan.
wishy-washy. Yeah, but because the 5 love languages, acts of service, words of affirmation, receiving gifts, quality time, physical touch.
Yep.
I was like, Like by the time I'd gotten through them all, I realized which one I was, which one my wife was, and
It's a
stuff like
good
that.
topic to bring up on dates, you know.
Maybe not the first date.
Not the first, but unless you're getting into a really good conversation and
true.
it's deep and you're on the same level. But I've brought it up on dates. It makes for good conversation for the single men and women out there listening.
All right, that's enough for me.
I had a pretty normal week too, mate. Worked a bit with the youth work. Had some really good shifts where I was able to really pour into some kids' lives and give them some positivity. And so I always enjoy that. But yeah, that's about it. I had a couple of heart checkups. I had a bit of a heart scare. I was, getting a bit of palpitations and weird feelings going on in the heart area. But all clear, mate. The only thing they said was I have a strong, fit heart.
Yeah. How many beats per minute is your resting heart rate?
Not my resting's around 50, I think. But it went as low as 39 at one stage.
What do you mean? How can it be so what was the 39?
That was the lowest recorded.
What?
That's like
how can it go lower than your resting? Isn't that
the average? The resting is the average heart rate, I believe, or the average resting heart rate. But it went as low as 39 at one stage through the day. You know,
and what's the like a super fit triathlete, for example, marathon runner would be 30.
I mean, the record I believe is a Spanish cyclist who went down to 27. And the lowest when I was a runner, I recorded 37, but that wasn't resting in the morning. Like as soon as you get up, you should do it. But I did check it when I was that age, like 17, sometime through the day, whatever. But so I may have not been at my most relaxed, but I remember I recorded around 37. I used to average around 37, so it was pretty low. It could have probably gone lower at times during the day. So yeah, but so no, it's a pretty good number to drop to.
Yeah. You have to get back into the marathons.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, there's no real passion there for it. But
it's pretty bloody boring.
I'm still pretty fit. Yeah, it's pretty bloody boring, man. And you have to lose a lot of muscle. You can't really have any muscle on, any weight that is not needed has to get off,
Unlike my friend Knuckles89, who's got in copious amounts of tissue of some kind.
Tissue, mate. Tissues. Why does he have tissues, mate? We won't go there.
Anyway, I'll cut that off in a minute. It's distracting. But,
thanks for joining in, fellas. Good. All right. I wanted to make a correction before we get into everything. Last week I mentioned the King James Bible was the first Bible printed by the Gutenberg Press. Wrong. Dun, dun, dun. The first book printed by the Gutenberg Press was a Bible. It was the Gutenberg Bible, a Latin Bible, and that was in 1455. The King James Bible was written in 1611. It was ordered by King James I. So I was right in the dates. I said I was like 1500, something like that. So I was close with that, but it wasn't the first Bible. It was like 150 years off.
That's not too bad.
I just want to get the facts right for the audience.
Speaking of King James, did you see his dunk on the
King James? Yeah, there was something going around. Was it something to do with
360? Not 360. It was. It matched perfectly with one of Kobe's dunks.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't think
he
would have done it intentionally, but
you think it wasn't? Oh wow!
But they matched it, and it was identical. But
my gosh,
there are a lot of dunks that a lot of people do, but it was more because he's been 17 years or whatever it is in the NBA, and he's still, his athleticism is unsurpassed.
Yeah, wow,
hasn't changed.
Yeah, animal, mate.
Yeah.
Wow, awesome.
The Greek bubble. All right, I'm cutting off.
So we've tried something new. The Instagram live, was it? That's going off. Thank you, fellas. But all right, guys, we're going to get into RP recommends.
All right.
What have you got, Raj?
I'll pump this out pretty quick. There's a journal app that I use called Day One. I think there's plenty in the. I use iOS, so in the App Store. I'm sure they're all over the place.
Yeah, I've heard of Day One. Actually, I might even have that one on my phone.
I can't remember why I started. I've always been interested in keeping a diary, and I used to try and write every day of something I did that day, but it never kind of worked on paper. But then with this, I believe once I got into the habit and I had it every day, like I couldn't break it. You know what I mean? So I had to keep writing every day, even if I didn't do anything of note. I'd put it down. But you'd be surprised about like a year later, you might. The good thing about this app is it sets reminders. So I'll show you, Jay, and I'll describe it. But if you
Like
go
it
into
reminds you to ride, or does it like
you can
gives
do
you
that,
a
but-
throwback or
yeah,
something?
on this day. It has this on this day
So
section.
like what Facebook and that does.
Yeah.
Things like that. Yeah.
So I've been
7
writing for
years ago?
Yeah, 7 years. I haven't missed one.
Wow.
And then
You write every day.
Yeah. It can only be like a couple of minutes, and that's
Yeah.
it. You can record audio, you can record video as
that's
well.
awesome, man.
I don't
Yeah.
want to do that because
But-
it'll fill up the phone pretty quick.
Well, that's the one thing actually. And
But you can back it up. It's no problem. I could take it off my phone.
Mm-hmm.
But I like having, I'll check like 6 years ago, as you can see, like photos of the kids, obviously. What I did, punch in the face. I won't read that. I had an audition for a Kit Kat commercial.
Oh, awesome.
There you go. I remember that.
Did you book that one?
Probably not.
No.
No, I don't think so.
Kit Kat?
Yeah.
I don't eat Kit Kats, so you must have not got it, mate.
No.
Because if you got the audition, if you booked that one, I'd be addicted to Kit Kats. No, I like Kit Kats actually.
That's
They're
great.
pretty- Yeah. they're
Underrated.
good.
Anyway, that app is
Awesome.
fantastic.
And is
it's really
there-
easy to use.
There's the option to pay with that though, right?
Yeah, I
And
got
you
the
get-
premium version. They screwed me over a little bit where I paid for the premium version and then they had a new premium version after that. And now, like, that's if you want to have video. I don't really need to have
Because
video.
video and the voice is only for premium. You have to pay to have the voice diary, I believe. That's what kind of stopped me from using it. I had tried it. I wanted to try it for free, and I thought, man, I could just do voice recordings and
Yeah, but it's not the same as...
writing.
Well, if you had a voice recording, it could say like it's 5 minutes long, for example, or 4 minutes. You're like, am I
Don't
going to
wanna-
play that and listen
yeah,
to it? But when
yeah.
it's words, you can kind of skim through. And
Yeah, gotcha.
And if it's photos, particularly, the most important thing is the photos because it kind of anything of note, and you take a photo of it, it's very easy to quickly remember what the day was about.
100%. My brother Steve and I did that with Italy when we went to the Tuscany in Rome. We were diary writing on our notes app actually and sharing pictures, but that's way more organized and yeah,
it's
better.
really good. I'm
Awesome.
stuck. I can't imagine
Day one diary.
but I'm sure there are plenty of good ones, but that's a great one.
Awesome.
Day one diary. Go, Jed.
Great. Okay, I'm recommending a book today. It's called Shadow of the Wind by Carlos, I believe, Ruiz Zafón is how you pronounce it. Ruiz Zafón. Carlos Ruiz Zafón. But Shadow of the Wind, look it up. His name will come up. A girl I dated in LA actually recommended this one to me. And I had put it down for a while and picked it up again when I was back in Sydney, and I actually really fell in love with it. Beautifully, poetically written, Spanish writer. I've got a little note here. I've said, Spanish writers, because Paulo Coelho's one as well, that I feel like he writes very romantically.
He
Like
does, yeah.
makes me feel nostalgic reading his words. And I feel like the Spanish guys, or girls and guys, Spanish writers seem to know how to articulate feelings and life moments into romantic, enchanting words that capture that feeling or moment so precisely. Many times the book had me nostalgic of youthful love and romance. Awesome book. I'll give you a quick little summary. It's set in Barcelona, 1945, just after the war. A great world city lies in shadow, nursing its wounds, and a boy named Daniel awakes on his 11th birthday to find that he can no longer remember his mother's face. To console his only child, Daniel's widowed father, an antiquarian book dealer, initiates him into the secret of the Cemetery of Forgotten Books, a library tended by Barcelona's Guild of Rare Book Dealers as a repository for books forgotten by the world, waiting for someone who will care about them again. Daniel's father coaxes him to choose a volume from the spiraling labyrinth of shelves, one that, it is said, will have a special meaning for him. And Daniel so loves the novel he selects, which is The Shadow of the Wind by one Julian Carax.
It's a good name.
Yeah.
Julian.
Carax. That he's so in love with his book that he sets out to find the rest of Carax's work. To his shock, he discovers that someone has been systematically destroying every copy of every book this author has written. In fact, he may have the last one in existence. Before Daniel knows it, his seemingly innocent quest has opened a door into one of Barcelona's darkest secrets, an epic story of murder, magic, madness, and doomed love. And before long, he realizes.
That's when you should have hit that button. Don't do it now.
Do, 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 do,
Don't
do,
do
do,
it.
do, do. Yes,
But
perfect.
just
I've got to
saying-
use the machine again.
Oh, please don't.
Yeah, the audience is saying, please do.
Then,
Anyway,
Hmm.
and before long, he realizes that if he doesn't find out the truth about Julian Carax, he and those closest to him will suffer horribly. Man, I was sad when I put down this book when I was done with it. It
Oh,
was hard to
really?
part. It was one of those ones where you just
I've had
you didn't
that.
want it to end.
Yeah.
It was hard. It was hard to part with those characters, man. I really fell in love with
Yeah.
the characters. You know, Daniel ages through the book into a man, and I won't reckon any of the
Hmm.
story. There's a love that blossoms, obviously. It was written in 2001, Spanish. 2004, it came out in English, sold over 1 million copies in the UK after already achieving success in mainland Europe, topping the Spanish bestseller lists for weeks.
well,
All right, so that's how good it was.
be
It is
good.
believed to have sold 15 million copies worldwide, making it one of the best-selling books of
wow,
all
That's
time.
pretty good.
4.5 out of 5
Pretty
from
good.
me.
I don't give it a rating because I
Sorry?
have not read it.
Yes,
Does it
you don't
look
give it
thick?
a rating. No, it was a bit of a long one.
Yeah.
And you know what? I actually read this one, and then the last little bit I listened to on audio.
Cheated.
Yeah, it was like the last few pages, but it was really well
yeah.
read by the
Was it read by the author?
reader. No,
Oh, okay.
No.
This is Spanish.
no, some other guy. But yeah, that's it. That's the
Ah.
book. Amazing book. Thank you to the girl who recommended it to me.
Thanks for
Awesome.
nothing.
Thanks for
Bitch.
nothing. Nah,
Are
she
you on
was
good
cool.
terms? Oh, okay.
Yeah, she was cool. All good. We don't talk, but she's cool.
All right. Weekly lowdown.
Weekly lowdown. What have
So-
you got for us, Raj?
This happened a few weeks ago. Firms have been urged, I think this is in Great Britain, to crack down on office football football,
yes.
soccer. That's what it is in England. But Chartered Management Institute head Anne Frank said sports banter can exclude women and lead to laddish behaviour, such as chat about sexual conquests.
Of course.
Quote, a lot of women in particular feel left out, she told BBC. They don't follow these sports and they don't like either being forced to talk about them or not being included. But the issue is many aren't cricket fans, she added, arguing bosses should crack down on sports banter. Blah, 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 blah. It's, and this was a great quote, it's a gateway, which they talk about like with Joe Rogan and Jordan Peterson being gateways to the alt-right and Nazism.
Are they saying that about Joe Rogan?
Oh, yeah, there was this whole article.
And Peterson?
And Peterson, man.
Wow, so they're
He's
both
a
getting
gateway
smashed
to
now.
white supremacy.
No
Right?
way.
Crazy. It's a gateway to more laddish behaviour. What is laddish behaviour? Is that like
Lads,
just
like, you know, yeah.
cheesy men?
Yeah.
If it goes unchecked,
Locker room talk, you
if
know?
it goes unchecked, it's a signal of more laddish culture. So basically saying, like we were working in an office, that we're not allowed, don't talk about sports.
Don't talk about
because you're
anything that
excluding-
girls might not be interested in.
Yeah. So what are you going to talk about?
And firstly, how come there's nothing said about girls not talking about
freaking,
reality TV
Maps.
shows
What's
and
that show? Married at First Sight.
yeah, and all those crappy
Yeah.
shows that I can't
Yeah.
stand hearing people talk about.
Yeah.
Like, there's no picking on that.
How
you know?
ridiculous
It's
is
just like
where
it's
this
all
is
part of
going.
this whole let's pick on men.
Yeah.
Men are toxic. Like all men are toxic. Let's pick on all men. Let's eradicate men. You know, it's like
Yeah.
what is this? It's getting really boring and
Yeah,
old.
it is.
Hey,
And it's like I don't think this is going to hold any water, but
it's really
scary
silly
the
and
way
it's getting stupid.
the places we're going.
Yeah,
like,
not that
like
we're not
policing speech. You know,
Yeah.
essentially, it's where it's heading.
And also, it's almost this. It's almost judging women and like
Yeah.
almost
As if there aren't some women who
that
would
like
be
sport
super
and
keen,
who
and
are
if
into
they're not,
cricket that even
they-
play.
You know, when I hang out with, like, I went out with my mates on Friday, and they're talking about things that, like, I don't. Not that I'm not interested in, but I don't.
I hope you got up and
knowledge
said,
of-
guys,
Yeah, I said this
please
is
respect me.
excluding
I don't give a crap about what you're talking
Right, I
about.
wanna
Can we
talk-
change the
yeah,
subject?
exactly. But you know, I'll try and be interested, and if I'm not,
course,
I'll go and
that's-
do something else. Like, it's no
People
big
skills,
deal,
right? That's
Yeah.
being a social human
Yeah.
being.
Talking in the interests of other people.
Yeah, not just. It's like again,
Dale
it's
Carnegie.
all these movements are so
Yeah.
like self-focused.
Yeah.
What did you say? Oh, Carnegie.
Dale Carnegie.
Oh, Dale Carnegie.
How to win
yeah,
friends
yeah.
and influence people. Talk
Yeah,
in the
yes.
interests of others.
Yes.
Talk about other people. Blah blah blah. Yeah, that's. I won't go into that too much.
It's all
but it was
pushing that
pretty
whole.
funny.
It's all
Weird.
about you. you're the only person that
don't
matters.
you get offended?
Yeah,
Like,
it's like,
as long as you're okay and you're okay and all the individuals are okay.
yeah, it's funny. It's silly.
Yeah. That's
Anyway,
all.
I hope this doesn't go on for too much
I think
longer.
it
Hey,
will.
I'm going to bring in some weird and morbid news.
Oh, what a surprise!
yeah, huh? Da, da, da.
Wrong one. No, I don't want to.
No,
I don't want to encourage
go on
pressing
there.
of the
We
buttons.
need to write some.
Yeah, what the fuck these
What-
things are?
what are you talking
Light
about?
purple.
Oh, flashback.
All right.
All right. It's weird. It's morbid. I'll punch this one out, guys. But Minneapolis renter discovers streaks of neighbor's blood dripping from ceiling. So look, this kind of the title gave it away. But streaks of red liquid streaming down the walls of a Minneapolis apartment left the unit's tenant, Evan Schultz, baffled. That's until Schultz's confusion turned to horror upon learning the source was, in fact, his dead neighbor's
Ooh.
blood.
So it was real blood.
It was. Schultz documented the grisly discovery to his Twitter account, as you do these days, in a series that has gone viral in the past week. The footage shows the white walls of his apartment streaking down with crimson. I've watched the video. It's pretty,
How did
yeah,
the-
just like it looks like this thin,
Yeah.
like really dark red blood
How did
dripping
the
down the
person
wall.
die?
They're not sure. This is like
Oh.
paranormal activity type shit, he could be heard saying. Yeah, they're not sure what he how
Is
he
that what
died.
he said? Like
And
that?
he's saying that, yeah, paranormal shit, yeah, paranormal activity. He didn't know what it
kind of
was
guy?
at first, right? He just saw blood dripping from his ceiling.
Right.
Where is this coming from? Because I don't know, nor does the maintenance man who came in just now. A man believed to be a roommate also shared photos to the social media network saying the apartment smelt horrible.
They didn't think to check upstairs.
No, right? If I was smelling things and saw things running down, I would think, oh, man, something's died upstairs. The source of that smell was later confirmed when the men discovered their neighbor had died. His body decomposed and somehow managed to seep into our apartment, the tweet read. Minneapolis police spokesperson John Elder told local media a body was discovered in the apartment above Schultz's. Officers found nothing suspicious when they investigated the scene, but did not comment on how long the body had been there. It's amazing what happens to the body once it's gone. Hey,
Yeah. How would
it
that do
starts
for
to
the property
decompose
value?
and that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And now, who wants to
important
live
thing.
in there and
No
below there and blood, like in the smell and the blood dripping and rent's going to go
into the
down.
walls.
And now that has to be recorded that someone died in that house if they, or in that apartment if they ever rented or try and sell the building
Yeah.
or the
That's
apartment.
true. Ah.
It needs to be recorded, needs to be told. So yeah, that's it. Morbid, weird. I'm going to end it there.
All right. What's to do now? Fool's Paul?
Fool's Paul.
All right, I'll go first.
Getting
This is
into-
going to be
into
quick.
the movie business.
Yeah, so the Oscars were on last night, the 92nd annual Oscars. 92, it's a long
90
time.
seconds.
I didn't watch it. I, don't know
I
you
did not
didn't.
either.
I normally do. Yeah, kind of. I don't want to say I lost interest. The political aspect of it is boring me a little bit, where the speeches are generally pretty politically focused.
It's becoming a platform to
it's
just
like,
be political.
Yeah, because I respect them all. Like even Natalie Portman, and she had this dress on that had the names of snubbed the directors or female directors, I believe it was. Yeah, on her dress, kind of like.
Yeah,
I was
well,
going to say what Conor McGregor did, but it's nothing like what he did. Did you see what he did? He had a
No.
suit that had "fuck you" written so smally. So you had to squint and look up close.
Oh,
It was across
really?
in the lining. Anyway, yeah, it was
who
nothing
did
like
did that for him?
Oh, he's Taylor. Like
He's
he's
Taylor
Taylor.
just-
Taylor. Yeah,
Bloody hell.
mate. He's Conor McGregor.
Yeah, I mean, he had the money to
Yeah.
pay someone to
Yeah.
put in that effort. Jeez.
Anyway, I mean, good on her if she wants to do that. I'm just a bit over the political stuff.
Yeah.
But that's
kinda-
probably not why. I don't know. I kind of lost a little bit of interest in watching it. Probably because there was no host, actually. If Ricky Gervais was
Oh,
hosting
there was
it,
no host
no
at all.
host, yeah. Because
Shit.
after what happened last year, they were supposed to have Kevin Hart. I probably would have watched it with him. And then they couldn't get one in time for last year's, and then it's like, I don't know, it's like no one wants to do it. It's a big job, and it's
Yeah.
a tough job.
Oh, man.
Ellen killed it when she did it.
She
Yeah,
doesn't want
that's-
to do it anymore.
I don't know. I think that's the reason why. The main reason why I didn't watch it is there was no host to like a comedian.
To keep it all together and to kind of
Make
give it some
funny.
direction. And
Especially at the beginning when they're doing the awards for categories that the general population don't really know about, or probably aren't too interested in.
Wow, that
You
must
want to
been-
have someone snappy and energetic to keep the show going until you get to the best supporting actor, best actor,
100%.
best actress, best supporting actress, director, cinematography. I'm just going to run through quickly.
give us a quick rundown for the listeners, just so in case you didn't watch it either or haven't read the news.
Best supporting actor went to Brad Pitt for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Brad.
He was fantastic in that. Actually,
I haven't seen him. I haven't seen
You
that
didn't see
film
that?
yet.
Oh,
I need to
it was
watch it.
great.
It's one I need to watch.
A lot of need to watch The Irishman because Al Pacino and Joe Pesci were nominated.
Yeah.
Same with Anthony Hopkins, The Two Popes. Have you seen that?
I haven't.
Heard
No,
about that?
I haven't seen any of those films. I was
No.
almost going to watch A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood with Tom Hanks
That's right.
this week.
Best animated story, Toy Story 4. Best animated feature, I beg your pardon. That was pretty good. Toy Story 4.
Haven't
Wasn't
seen that
as good
yet.
as 3, I think. Best original screenplay went to Parasite. So Parasite's going to be the big winner of the night. Adapted screenplay, Jojo Rabbit.
I want to watch that one.
That Margot? Who's in that?
No, that's what's his name? Kiki? What's his
the
name?
New Zealand director.
Yeah.
Kiki Watiki?
Yeah.
That's not it.
yeah.
Oh, no. Best supporting... I should say it here. No, it doesn't.
No.
Best supporting actress, Laura Dern for Marriage Story.
Nice.
Margot Robbie was nominated in Bombshell. That's the one. Scarlett Johansson. She's in Jojo Rabbit. That's what I was thinking.
Who won the BAFTA for, with this in this category? Was it?
Best supporting actress?
Yeah, because
It wasn't her.
because Laura Dern just came through now, I believe. I hadn't heard her name winning anything like the SAG award or the BAFTA award for her for best supporting. I believe Margot had won one of them.
Did she?
No, she didn't. I don't know who won.
First
it's
award
saying-
currently held by Laura Dern. Marriage Story.
Oh, she did get it. Wow,
Yep.
awesome. All right, there you go.
I don't know about the SAG. I don't think it was Margot.
Yeah, okay.
Could be wrong. Best
Best
cinematography,
cinematography.
1917. Still have to see that damn thing.
Same, yep. Editing went to
Ford
Ford
versus
versus
Ferrari.
Ferrari. I like that. I
Yep.
thought it was well edited. You've seen it, right?
Yes,
you did.
Yeah, it was great. 1917 won visual effects. Original score went to The Joker. Best actor, Joaquin Phoenix, The Joker. Best actress, Renee Zellweger. Congratulations for Judy.
Had she won the BAFTAs in that as well? Like again, I don't
Could be.
recall
I
her
don't know.
name popping up. Man, yeah.
And best director, Bong Joon-ho for Parasite. He collected a bunch of Oscars because he also won Best Picture. So it's a good little GIF or video of him.
Wait,
where-
so what was that last? The second last one he won?
Director.
Best director, best
Yeah.
picture, and best cinematography, I believe.
No, it
it?
was
No, that was 1970. Screenplay,
Let me see here.
adapted screenplay, maybe.
Original screenplay.
Best original
Yep.
screenplay,
So there's
best
this little video of him like staring at his Oscars,
best picture.
and
Yep,
the
best
camera's,
director.
and he's not like, he doesn't know the camera's on him, and then he just breaks out into this big smile, like a genuine smile, when he's just him in the Oscars.
Oh, that's great.
It's pretty cool.
Awesome. Good on him, man. Not North Korean, but Korean.
Korean. Yep.
Yep. Awesome.
Cool.
Great. Well, I'm going to give a little film review. Before Midnight, the last of the Before series. There was Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, and Before Midnight. The first one was filmed back in 95, I believe, Before Sunrise, when Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy were still in their 20s, young, pretty couple. I remember watching that one, and even from the beginning, their chemistry was amazing. I thought like these guys would hook up. I don't think they did, but Ethan Hawke was kind of smashing into the scene at the time as well.
Thought you were going to say smashing into something else.
No, jeez. I don't know, maybe. But yeah, and then 9 years later they filmed Before Sunset.
Yep.
And that one was great too. These films are so like naturally, like when he makes them, they just show life in like an everyday natural life, people going through the motions, you know. There's no...
Sounds riveting.
Yes, right. It like
Going through
I know
emotions.
it doesn't, but yeah, but
You really
it's just it's
talking it
so
up.
captivating. There's always long scenes and it's more dialogue driven. You know, it's not about action and these characters.
Yeah.
They're going through a day, but there's so much chemistry and I think it's something everyone can relate to.
Yep.
Anyway, Before Midnight, released 2013. So Sunrise, before Sunrise, they waited 9 years, filmed Before Sunset, waited another 9 years and filmed Before Midnight. So they went on this journey.
He's done that before, Ethan Hawke, with another film.
Yeah, and it was the same director. This director is Richard Linklater, and he did Boy's Life or something. Or
Boy's Life or something like that.
Yeah, something like, or About a Boy, or a Boy's Life,
where they
something
just
like
kept
that.
going back every year, filming
Filmed it over 20 years, I believe. Yeah.
What a great idea.
Yeah, so this director is into that, watching people change over time as well, and it kind of brings in that reality. But by the second and third film, Julie Delpy, Ethan Hawke were heavily involved, not just as actors, but they were writing, producing.
Yep.
It's noted that they stated that they apparently locked themselves in a room for 12 hours in France, in Paris, I think, and they were writing for the third film, just kept rewriting scenes. So by the time they shot these extremely long scenes, and you're thinking, how do they remember all the dialogue? And you know, there's so many scenes, and so many long scenes. But yeah, they had, I guess, gone over them so many times, and they were so into character that it became pretty natural for them. But it got 98% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's a decent score.
That's a really good score. 7.9 out of 10 on IMDb.
It's also good.
A little summary. On the last night of their idyllic Greek vacation, longtime lovers Jesse, Ethan Hawke, and Celine, Julie Delpy, reminisce about their lives together and what different choices might have brought. Building on the first two installments in Richard Linklater's well-crafted Before trilogy, Before Midnight offers intelligent, powerfully acted perspectives on love, marriage, and long-term commitment. Really moving film. They were really good at... they were really good at seeing when each other were actually acting and putting on like a they strived to have no sense of artifice. That's what they wanted to do, and they wanted it to be very natural and connected. If they came across like they were in their head or acting, that they didn't want it to be like that. But I think they did a great job at not doing that. What else have I written here? So many long scenes, but so much more like real life and so much more dialogue driven. The whole film takes place within 24 hours, set in Greece at the end of their summer holiday. It's romantic, and each scene for me refreshingly celebrates real life, love and passion. There's one scene in there where they're all eating lunch together and just all friends, and they're having this great convo, and it changes subjects, and there's so much passion and rawness, and everyone's really just vulnerable and shares these beautiful moments. Older people, young kid and his girlfriend are at the table. It's just beautiful, set in Europe, really romantic. There's a line also that I love when Julie Delpy and Ethan Hawke, their characters, are walking to this hotel that their friends have given them for the night, have offered it to them as a gift to spend the night there. They've paid for it and all that. I won't wreck the film, but they're walking to this. It's a long walk to this hotel, and what's her name? Celine, Julie Delpy's character, says, "Oh, do you remember when you shared that your diary with me when you were 20, writing to your 40-year-old self?" And he was like, "Oh yeah." He said, "Don't get divorced." And she was, "No, not that part. You remember you said you wanted time to go fast." Well, like what? No, she said, "No, not that part. But what do you remember the most? What do you think has changed now that you're in your 40s and like you're not that 20-year-old person anymore?" And he was like, "Oh, you know what? He goes, "Oh, not much has changed, but you know what really has changed actually? Like, because I remember back then when I was in my 20s, like late teens, around 20, I just wanted time to speed up. I just wanted to be my own man and get out there into the world." And he says, "Now that I'm in my 40s, it's like I just want everything to slow down." And it really, it gets you. I think you need to have lived long enough to understand what he's talking about.
You wouldn't get that when you're in your 20s.
No,
matter how many
we're
people tell
37
you.
now, and like you think, I know that feeling. So that moved me. But a little bit of film trivia quickly before we move on. Shot in 15 days.
That's amazing.
I mean, there's only like 5 locations or something, but very long scenes, you know. Ethan Hawke described Before Sunrise as a film about what might be. That was the first one. Before Sunset as a film about what could or should be. And Before Midnight as a film about what is. And just quickly, the film was actually dedicated to a girl that Richard Linklater met once before he started writing about the film. He dedicated the film to the memory of Amy Lurhaupt. I'm butchering her last name at the moment. The woman who was the inspiration for Before Sunrise, the first film. Richard Linklater had spent a night walking and talking around Philadelphia. Jeez, with her I haven't been drinking. In 1989. Though initially they stayed in touch over the telephone, they lost contact eventually. In 1994, Linklater started shooting Before Sunrise. So now this is the film. 5 years later, he writes a script about that experience he had with a girl walking around all night in Philadelphia, right? Where am I? Okay, Linklater started shooting Before Sunrise, the first film. And when the world premiere was about to take place, Linklater was secretly hoping that Amy would show up, but she did not. 10 years later, Linklater shot the sequel, Before Sunset, and had yet to hear from Amy. So he's hoping he created this film and hoped that this girl that he lost touch with and couldn't reach out to her or find her anymore would find him. Anyway, finally in 2010, a friend of Amy's who knew about their story contacted Linklater to tell him that Amy had died in a motorcycle accident on May 9th, 1994, at the age of 24. Only a few weeks before he started shooting Before Sunrise, the first film that was inspired by her. How sad is that, hey? Both Linklater and Hawke were devastated. So Ethan was devastated by that news as well, but found comfort in the inspiration for the Before trilogy. Yeah, cool. Awesome, mate.
Wow.
But that's it. 4.5 out of 5 for me. Beautiful film.
Nice.
Awesome.
Check it out.
Great.
All right.
Maltese Connection. Trad wives. Traditional wives.
Yes. Well,
yes, but we have
women.
Traditional women. Yes, not just wives. Yes.
So today we are just going to go through something that was played on the Today Show. We're going to watch it and react naturally to it, I guess. I have seen it briefly, but we'll watch it properly now. But essentially it is the Today Show seems to be making fun of women, which is ironic because, it seems like the shaming of other women seems to happen by women as well.
Yeah, right.
It's not so much, how they talk about women. When someone says about wearing the same dress to an event, like 2 days in a row, like 2 times in a row, you can't do that. But men don't care. It's other women that care,
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, a lot of the stress that's put on women to impress men is put on women by other women.
Exactly, that's what I'm trying
by
to
themselves.
say. So the Today Show had this little segment about a lady who likes to get up early and make her husband breakfast and coffee and have his clothes ready before he goes to work at 4:30 in the morning. So that's the and
doesn't like to get to bed before the dishes are clean.
Yeah, and the house is clean in order. Okay, so let's have a watch and then we'll discuss.
Let's do that.
I want to take you back to the 1950s, or at least that's what I thought when I read this Brisbane mum's Facebook post. Brooke Smith shared her routine online. Here's what she said. I always make sure I don't go to bed until everyone's lunches are packed, their clothes are set out for the next day, including my husband's, and the house is clean, dishwasher is on, and a load of washing is on.
I'll just pause it there. So immediately this is on a negative spin on this. Back to the 1950s. The first thing I like to think of when someone says that is, what the hell is wrong with the 1950s? I mean, things were great. There are things in the 2020s that we're in now that it would be far better off if it was things the same as in the 50s, So it's just because time has passed doesn't necessarily mean things have gotten better.
And not a good way to start. She's already kind of mocking her and trying to influence the audience on where to lean.
Yeah, I believe it backfires.
Let's get up early, 4:30, with my husband to make his breakfast and coffee.
They hear that guy in the background?
My wife doesn't do that.
How dare she make her husband breakfast in the morning? God forbid. It gets better. It gets much better with this. This guy, man, that pisses me off the most.
Coffee. Go, Brooke. Whatever.
Whatever.
Why was that
I tell
needed?
you what, though, Chris, I mean, a lot of people online are saying, well done, are praising her.
No shit.
Who are these people?
This guy.
Oh,
Who would make breakfast?
Who are these people?
Really ridiculous of language and behaviour by these Muppets here, especially that guy in particular.
Yeah, they're making
who would like
fun of someone who she seems to be enjoying it. They're showing photos of her with her family.
Yeah.
She seems to be happy enjoying family life and doing things right.
Right.
And they're making fun of her. Like, this is what
For
we've come
what?
to.
For what?
Someone who's diligent and committed and hardworking. God forbid someone does not put themselves first and becomes selfless.
Exactly.
Like, we are a selfish people,
Yeah.
everybody. We've
Yeah.
been striving to be selfish.
That's the big
you know,
point.
and
Yeah.
you're making us look bad now.
Yeah.
So just get back in line and be a selfish person, please.
You know,
Like why? Like, we used to honor that.
Yeah.
You know, honor hard work.
Yeah.
Even if a guy wanted to get up and do that for his wife, awesome, man. If you want to do that and you have that thing working
Yeah.
out with each other, and maybe the ladies going out and working hard and
Yeah.
bringing in money then, and you want to help her in the morning, like, so she doesn't have to get up too early to do everything.
Yeah.
That she can just focus on doing the things she has
well,
to do.
you're not going to hear anyone say, "Oh."
But if a guy was
Tell
doing
her
that,
to get up and do it herself.
no,
Like,
it would,
that would never
the
happen,
response
you
would
know?
be different.
I make
Or they'd probably call the guy a wimp or something.
Yeah.
Or I don't know what
No,
they'd
yeah.
say. Maybe not. But it's funny. Like, she's working hard and she loves what she's doing and she's sacrificing for her husband.
Yeah.
The person
And-
she's chosen to commit her life to and want to build a relationship and a family with. And she's doing it for her kids too.
And there's
It's
a good reason
That's
as
a
to-
bad thing.
There's a good reason as to why she does it as well, which these porcupines don't know yet.
hypnotised her or something. Who does this stuff?
Who does this stuff? Who makes breakfast for their partner? Who does this stuff?
She
What a
must
muppet.
have been hypnotized.
Oh yeah, must have been hypnotized.
That's not normal, right?
There was a time
There is
when
no people
this
like
was
that.
normal, and that doesn't mean that
Like-
women were lesser citizens or whatever. You know,
Yeah.
it was respectable that
Oh, wow.
the guy. In some families, if they're lucky enough, there's one breadwinner in the family. There's one person. Nowadays, unfortunately, it's
getting harder to just make a living
most of the
and-
time.
yeah.
If you're fortunate enough where you don't have to work, or maybe you're working later in the day,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to get up and make breakfast, like, that's a nice
Mate.
act. That's an act of service from.
That's the 5 love
you know?
languages. It's one of the
Exactly.
5 and maybe that's hers. You know,
Yeah.
that's how she expresses her love, by acts of service.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not touch. Maybe it's not so much words or
Yeah.
words of affirmation or gifts
Yeah.
and presents. It's maybe acts of service,
Yeah.
and that's usually how people receive love as well. So who knows what the husband is doing on his end? He's probably doing acts of service for her that she
Exactly.
truly appreciates,
Yeah.
and one of them might be going busting his butt at work
Yeah.
for 10 hours. And that because she doesn't want to do that, but she appreciates that and she feels loved by him
Exactly.
doing that, you know?
And they're implying that it's almost implied that she doesn't want to do it. Like it's as
Yeah,
if
like she
they're
must
in
be
this old school.
told
she's
to do it,
hypnotised, yeah.
hypnotized, maybe bullied
Which
to
is
do it.
obviously
Like,
not the case.
It's not
She
her
is-
free choice, because if she had any woman with free choice wouldn't choose that. Like
Yeah.
because that woman doesn't exist.
Yeah,
BS.
And she
man,
talks
it's
about
bullshit.
how happy she is to do it.
Yeah.
and I'll tell you the reason now.
So why is this even a story on
It-
today
it-
then? If it's something she
This
enjoys
is
and
the
she
level
posted about
the
it.
media has got to, yeah.
So they
she
have no-
posted it in
no
a
better
private group,
news.
you know.
No
she
better
didn't mean
news.
for this to be publicised.
Right, so so they
in a
found
mum's
it.
group. They
so
found
maybe
it.
someone shared it,
Yeah.
was shocked by it,
Yeah.
and Today's Show got a hold
Yeah,
of it
yeah.
and thought, wow,
And we'll mock
post
this
it us
woman.
and mock
Yeah.
her as well. How ridiculous is that?
it's crazy.
That's like
And-
the TV we're watching these days.
Yeah.
Let's bully people.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, how
And
much
then-
are we going against bullying?
and then in the next segment,
schools,
let's
and
have-
let's bully
yeah.
them on our big, morning shows and
And then
stuff
they'll
like
follow
that.
it up with a segment about how bad bullying is and how we need to stop it and crack down on it. You know, the hypocrisy.
This is the
madness.
thing, man. This is where, like,
Do you know why
it
she
just-
does it?
why she does it?
Because
why she's getting up
why
early.
she does that. One of the apart
for
from the
it.
fact that she wants to, and she likes to keep a tidy household and
Yep.
all
Some
respect to
people
her.
like cleanliness
Right.
and
The
order.
main reason from her comments, because she did comment on this thread when they posted it, was that she knows the amount of accidents that happen early in the morning, and especially on his route to work. I believe they run a gym, so he must have early classes first thing in the morning. That's why he's up so early. And she doesn't want her husband to wake up even earlier to make his
That's
own
what I was
breakfast.
saying, yeah.
So he can be
See?
rested, so he's got a less chance of freaking dying in a
That
car
makes
accident.
sense. I remember one of my girlfriends used to do that when I had to get up super early and maybe I didn't want to get up even earlier. Say I needed an
Yeah.
hour if I had to make breakfast and
Yeah.
coffee and all the other
Without
little
rushing,
things.
yeah.
But maybe if she helped me out and did some of those things, we could all get it done together and I would do the things I can only do
Yeah.
for myself. We can get it done in half an hour and then
Yeah.
we get to, I get to have an extra half an hour of sleep and be more rested.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why is that a bad thing? Especially if the girl wants to get up and do that.
Yeah.
That's a selfless act for someone you love.
Yeah.
That's honorable, man.
dare she?
I would do that for the girl I love as well. If the roles were reversed and she had to get up one morning to go to work and I had the day off, I'd love to get up.
Yeah.
And anything I can do, babe. Do you want me to make coffee for you? I'll do the things that that you don't have to do. Make you breakfast. I'll clean the dishes. You just do what you have to do. Have your shower, whatever. Get
Yeah.
dressed. Put your makeup on and go to work.
Yeah.
Like, why is this a bad thing that we're mocking? This is
This
ridiculous.
is where we're headed.
This is human nature.
Yeah.
This is part of being a good
It's
human
a good
being,
thing.
guys. Let's not make fun of this.
It's like making fun of someone.
It's only bad if she didn't want to do it and he was
Yeah.
forcing her
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
I don't know, tying her up and, beating her up if she didn't do it,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know?
of course. That's obviously not the case. Let's
No.
keep going.
Breakfast and then putting his clothes out overnight. Is he disabled or something? Like, serious?
This guy, hey,
Is he disabled?
he's trying to get some brownie points, mate.
Is he, or is he just a
I know.
complete?
I mean,
twat?
is he married? Does he have a ring? Like,
I don't
it's
know.
probably really. You can almost hear it in his voice. He's going a little bit over the top. I mean, as actors, we can pick up that a little bit better.
Yeah. He's definitely trying to emphasize.
Really?
Yeah, disabled.
Just trying to impress the women and trying to be
Yeah.
all like, I'm with you,
I'm
women.
woke,
I'm
man.
a feminist as
Yeah.
well. You know.
Look, everyone's so funny. Everyone's laughing.
Yeah.
Ha ha, he's disabled. Idiots.
And this guy's got center stage
Get
at
a
the.
grip. Get off your bum and do stuff.
You get off the bum and go to your gym. Look at him. He's not in the best freaking shape, is he? You want to start picking, little bits
On
and
a
pieces off
hardworking,
people?
fit lady.
Far up, man.
God forbid she helps her husband out and a
douchebag.
family.
Yeah.
She should be sleeping in, making breakfast for nobody. The kids should be making their own shit as well.
Of course.
And the house should be a bloody mess, mate. She should get to bed when
That-
she wants to.
that is the
Sleep
proper
early,
world we
get
need
up,
to live in.
Get up late
Yeah.
and do jack shit. You're a lady, mate. You
Yeah.
are free to do whatever you want and free to do whatever you want, But it has to be this.
Is he disabled? I'm going to play that bit again.
Get off your bum and do stuff yourself.
My only theory is that she might actually like her husband and she might actually like to get up at 4:30 and
Yes, of
I
course.
know. A little bit of sanity going on. Wow,
can tell,
there is
she's
some
like-
life at today.
This
at
other
the
lady
Today
that's
Show.
in the clip
There is
as
some
you can
maturity
see.
there.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
She's probably been holding back a little bit. She's like, you guys are freaking crazy.
No, I mean, I like my husband, but make your own bloody breakfast.
I want to marry her.
I mean,
Make your own bloody breakfast. Why would he ever make her breakfast then?
I know, exactly. That's
Like
the
a
thing
nice
then.
thing.
Then that just gets,
No, you don't
it's
do it.
one upping each other
not
and
doing
blah,
that
blah,
for
blah.
you. You don't
Instead
do
of
this for
one
me.
upping on who's going to get each other back and be the cruelest to each other and
Yeah.
you don't want to do it, I want to do it for you. And then all this bloody, animosity between each other builds and that's a great love life, isn't it? And that's a great environment to bring up kids. Why not try and beat each other in love? The
Yeah.
Bible is all about that. Scripture says that, man. Those who are first, they serve, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the ones who serve are first.
Yeah.
They're at the top, man.
Here's the thing, apparently this couple run an MMA fighting gym.
Oh, like mixed
And
martial arts.
Mixed martial arts, and they also breed bulldogs, so they can do whatever they want. I'm like,
you're not arguing.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? If it makes her happy, but
Well,
I mean, there's
obviously it
nothing
does
in that
make her
list of
happy.
things there,
And she's got 4 children under the age of 6.
But did you see her photos too? She still had time to make her hair look beautiful and put her makeup on.
Women
she
attacking
looks
women.
gorgeous.
Oh, yeah, there you go, Carl.
Yeah,
women
making her
attacking
look
women.
bad.
Yes, he nailed it there. At the end there. That was
That was Carl. He was the guy who was on off screen.
His
ages.
brother is married to her. To Sylvia, I believe so, yeah.
Is that Carl's brother is married to her?
Pete Stefanovic, I believe. We're
Oh,
getting
wow,
off topic
now
there,
it's
but
getting-
anyway. Yeah, so I know where they're coming from, right? I know, obviously, we've got a bit energetic there. I don't know that guy, so I don't think he's a bad person, but he just sounds really bad.
Just silly,
Poor
like
choice
when
of
we're
words and-
attacking each other.
Yeah.
It's not about being left or right. It's not about being all about feminism and wanting women to work or wanting women to stay home and be traditional wives. It's about free choice. Every lady, as should every man, should have the
That's-
freedom to choose what they
okay.
want to do.
That's the hypocrisy. That's the hypocrisy with being woke and this whole movement, right? So women, they're basically saying here, this is driven by how women shouldn't be at home doing the traditional chores and breakfasts and setting out clothes that happened in the 50s. That's what they're implying, because women have come much further, which they have, but they're almost saying, well, now you have to, because now it was like they didn't have a choice back then, right? It was like the man goes to work, the woman stays home to look after kids, even if she didn't want to do that and she wanted to do something else. Now we live in a society in 2020 where she has, women have the option in civilized countries to go and get an education, go and work, or go and do whatever they want.
Yeah, which is great.
So they have free choice.
Awesome. Yeah, free choice.
But then if you choose to stay home and do something that's traditional, no, you can't do that.
Yeah, so
you have
now-
to go and get educated and go and get into
We've worked so hard
$300,000
for you.
worth of debt, and and stuck
Especially
in a
in the US.
cubicle and live there and work there for $30 an hour, and then what?
Yeah.
Like you got nothing to show for it.
yeah,
if
don't-
that's not what you want to do, but you feel like this is what I should do. I should
Be a slave for your boss, but not your husband.
Yeah.
Like, don't work for your husband, work for a boss,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and get taxed and everything. But look, I think the whole feminist movement have opened, like you just said, have opened up a lot more opportunities and rights and privileges for women, which is awesome. We are all for that, right? I personally am more attracted to a lady who has ambitions and goals and who wants to go out there and do things. I find that more exciting and adventurous. And like we also mentioned, these days you kind of need that. It's hard to live off one income, you know what I mean? I'm more for the lady than if I was with a girl who wanted to do that, then I would have to make it work, you know? But I wouldn't force her to do it or not to do it. And I think, again, these things that the women's rights movements have opened up for women should be always a choice, though. It shouldn't now be from a choice to something. You have to do it. You should do it. This is what we want you to do. We're going to force you to do it, because that's bullying. And now you're like, it's almost swinging all the way to the other side.
Well, that's where it's going. And Jordan Peterson talks about this as well, because there are a lot of comparisons made, for example, in like with that Kathy Newman interview that I sent you. When you watch that, you'll see she talks about there being, I think, only 2 out of 10 or something CEOs of the top companies in Britain. And that's obviously sexism, which it's not.
And Peterson goes into a great debate on why that is like
Right.
that. It's
And
not because there's no
essentially
opportunities.
we won't go
Yeah, we won't.
into
It's
it.
a big
It comes down
subject.
to
Yeah, big topic to talk about.
choice, really. It's like it's a very select group of people who choose that vocation and to make that effort and sacrifice their family and life
Because
to
it's
focus on one goal, 100% to get to the top echelon, right? It's not just because and it's skewed more towards men, because men have different hormones and high testosterone and are built differently to be more aggressive in that sense, to go after those things.
They would almost sacrifice having a family to get there, whereas women are more so wide in a way that by the time they get to 30 and over 30, they're more so starting to question, I don't know if this is worth it anymore and if this is making me fulfilled anymore. So a lot of them drop out, right, and want to start. Very smart, intelligent women who have the capability of reaching those high levels, but maybe don't want to sacrifice, don't love it enough to want to kill everything else in life and be just focused on that one area. They'd rather have a balanced life.
And natural choices, that's what he says.
Peterson
Natural
talks about,
choices show that women are more inclined to go to sort of service-oriented roles, such as like nursing and stuff like that, which has a very low amount of men.
Look, people might argue, but that we've been, preconditioned to
it's not,
to be that, and that, that'll change over time. But even then, though, Peterson puts up a good argument. You almost have to be like a little sick and insane to reach those high levels of being a CEO, working 80-hour weeks. Even a lot of men don't even want to do that. Like, I wouldn't want to work 80-hour week. Man, it would have to be something I bloody love, man.
Yeah.
You know? But even then, if I had a wife and a family, like, shit, I don't want my kids to become 18, 19, 20, and I don't know
Never
them.
see them, yeah.
And they never want to visit because there's no happy memories of being at home, and they don't want to know me anymore. And they want to go. That would tear me up.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm too, like, connected to family and love that side of life too much to let that go and let that burn for what? For like fame or fortune or success in the eyes of the world. Like, it's not worth it. So you need to be almost a sick human being. Not that that's bad as well, but some people are cool with that, and they choose that one-dimensional life, and everything else, you know, falls to the wayside. And it's not an easy path, man. And mostly men are the ones that can go all the way there. Yeah. Some women probably can, but that's why there's not many. Yeah.
But that doesn't mean the numbers have to be 50-50.
Yeah. It's like that's not, this isn't a thing about being balanced and fair. It's who wants to do it. Again, it's choice, right? Like, you know, we have to, it's like the Academy Awards. Oh, it should be balanced. Like, man, these guys are running it. They choose who they like. It doesn't mean they're being, maybe this year was, I mean, they've been so, open with their choices in the past. What's it called? Like being,
transparent.
Yeah, well, they're like, you know, diverse with their choices and
but
who
you don't
they
want to
pick.
win
It's
an
like
award.
Now they can't be. Oh, there needs to be 2 Asian people. There needs to be 3 black people. There needs to be 3 white, and that's
Who
not
wants
how
to win?
art
Who
works.
wants to
It's
win
like,
an award?
they're not
because
even looking
they're
at
like
skin
tokens.
colors.
Yeah.
They're just looking at the films, man, and they're not even basing it on names and color of skin. They're just looking at the aesthetics of the film and in their categories, and they're picking what they like, and they have every right to.
Yeah.
It's up to them. It's their thing. They run it. You know, they can pack up, you know, and leave and not even have the Academy Awards then. You know what I mean? Like, why are we bullying everything? It's just getting really silly.
Yeah.
Anyway, I can go on about this, man. But again, let's run to,
So that was that clip.
with Tradwell, like with women's movements and being women who want to be traditional wives. Again, we're not for or against. We're for women having a choice. Each individual woman should have the right to make a choice, and one shouldn't bully the other. One shouldn't mock and make fun of the other or force the other or tell the other or try and convince the other that they're wrong and they should do this and they should do it vice versa.
Yep.
Every woman should choose, and they make it work with their husband, and that's their thing, and they, you know, that's how they've made it work for themselves, mate. As long as the marriage can stay together, you know, and everyone's happy, then exactly.
Let's move on. Is there something else you wanted to say about?
I wanted to talk
wives?
a bit about the Tradwells. I mean, some of we've already kind of brought up anyway.
Shoot through it quick.
Yeah. I know. I said I personally like lady goes out and do it, but again, that's my choice. I'm not going to say I've got it right. You know what I mean? I can't believe this. You're Adrian. Yes, I said, I don't think one way or the other should be pushed as the right way, nor should either way be ridiculed and judged. Women should feel free to choose and to feel good about their choice. Again, if the lady wants to stay home, then that's cool. Seeing the man can make enough for the whole family. But I believe the woman should then help and do most of the housework and chores if she wants to stay home, right? To balance things out. If she wants to go out and work a job, or even better, work within a field she is passionate about, then that's great too. The partners will need to share the load of housework then, right? Obviously, if both are working, then okay, then they need to share the load. The housework, the grocery shopping, cleaning, cooking, looking after the kids. I talk about what I personally prefer. To me, it only becomes wrong when things become unbalanced. For instance, if the lady stays home and then wants to do nothing but go out with her friends and be on social media, or if both partners are working, but when it comes to doing chores, housework, cooking, grocery shopping, looking after the kids, one partner might give that responsibility all to the other. Like if both of them were working and then the husband comes home and says, hey babe, that's all your job, that's wrong, right? Then if they're both working hard and putting in the hours, then they have to share that load. That's when it gets wrong to me. Ultimately, it comes down to communicating with each other and balancing the things of life together as a team. You need to find what works better for your partnership, not just for you as an individual. Relationships are a team thing. All right. I really dislike the whole women versus men mindset. We've talked a lot about this, and it seems to just be this sporting match. It's counterproductive to a real lasting and healthy relationship, guys, which deep down I believe all men and women truly desire with each other. This mindset seems to be being pushed more and more these days, especially with the Me Too movements and the idea that any kind of masculinity is toxic. I get a woman not wanting to be dependent on a man, wanting to feel like they are going to be okay on their own if need be. That's cool. This dislike towards that can sometimes be due to bitterness, maybe from being burned by men or by men in the past. So one must make sure this mindset of wanting to be independent and not needing a man, they have to make sure that this mindset does not come from a place of bitterness and anger. But I think it is healthy for both men and women to not be needy of each other to the point that they don't feel whole and in and of themselves. I've always believed, like, you know, a relationship isn't one half with another half creating a whole. I think it's two whole people coming together and complementing each other and making their lives that little bit better, you know, not needing each other. Where is it? The whole independent woman image, the one where the lady goes out and gets drunk at bars and parties, and is, you know, you see a lot of it in the whole Sex and the City scene, and these wild women, and they're independent, they're making their money, we're going to go out, we're going to sleep around, we're going to drive fancy cars and make money, you know, is not some attractive image of femininity to me anyway. It's not. I don't know, is that attractive to you, Rog? Do you want to marry a lady like that?
Oh, I'm married,
Do you
so
feel
I've got
safe?
no comment.
Oh, man, yes. Not the kind of lady I would want to raise kids with. You know, if she's going out and getting drunk and sleeping around and being this wild lady, I don't find that attractive. Maybe some people do. So I'm not pushing, you know, that my way is the right way, but I'm just sharing a bit of my thoughts here. Integrity, honesty, values, self-respect and self-management for men and women, guys, not just women, for men and women. And I work on things myself. I believe will always be attractive qualities for both men and women. There we go. Cool. Yeah, I won't go into all of that, but there it is, guys. We're hitting an hour.
Yep.
What are we up to?
Going. We're up to CVAs. So we're just going to be really brief, nice and quick on this one. This is from a few weeks ago when we were talking about dating etiquette, and we ran out of time. So we're just going to discuss when is the right time to go in for the first kiss when you're dating a woman.
We got up to like doing the date and everything and communicating
coming
before
to the door,
that
kind of stuff.
Boom.
After how many dates is it ideal to make the move? So I had this funny thing with my mates where we'd make fun of a friend of ours who had been on 4 dates and 5 dates and still hadn't kissed the girl, and was like, man, I can't remember what it was. I think it was like a 6 date maximum. Like if you go 6 dates and then you haven't come in for the kiss, you got a problem there. Like it's over. You know, you've got to make the move, and so. Who knows what the kind of perfect time is? You know, it could be on the first date if everything is going really well, but more than likely for me, historically, haven't been on that many, but I think around like 3 and 4 is like, well, you know, it's like if you guys if we're not getting along by now, it's you know, but it can just come down to nerves. So a lot of times that I had, it was just shyness and not wanting to, everything was going great, and then walking to the car and it's like, all right, so yeah.
You done that dance?
Yep, I'll see you later. So it can be tough, but you kind of, if she's or if he's going out with you 4 times in a row, I think you can be pretty confident that if you go in for a kiss goodbye, it's going to be reciprocated. What do you think, Jay Pace? Pache?
Well. No, yes, I think in these situations, you really have to read the person. And again, it's all body language and also trying to create it too. Like, I don't know, like I've had moments where like maybe we're rounding out the night, we've gone for a walk after a meal, like maybe we had dinner and a drink and we've gone for a little stroll around the streets and we've sat on a bench maybe and we're talking or maybe it could be a day. I've done some dates where if
with your coffee.
Yeah, I've done some of those coffee dates, mate. And some of those dates have ended in a kiss.
Oh, during the day.
Because, you know, because you've had a really good connected conversation and then you've gone for a little walk and you've really connected and, you know, you both opened up about things and shared things and become vulnerable and intimate on that level. But no, not physically, but, mentally, emotionally. And then, goes to the car. If it's done all well, I feel like you just read it, and you sometimes feel the electricity in the hug and there's that moment of like, if you're both looking at each other's eyes and it's there. And I've had a few first date kisses. Sorry.
It's well described. Your eyes are there and your locked eyes.
Yeah, well, that's what happens. And then everything almost like blurs out, and you get into this world of it's just you two and you both feel it. I believe you both feel it.
Okay.
And then if it's there, it's there. Hey, and it doesn't have to be this wild, passionate, kiss, but sometimes it's just a locking of lips and yeah. But if it's not there, you have to again
details.
Yeah,
Thank you.
gosh.
Just sometimes remember that,
it's
kids.
the actor coming
Lock
out,
the
the
lips.
expressing
That's what
the
kissing is.
expressiveness. But and then. You have to really read it. But I really believe if the body language is not there, sometimes a girl would she'll make it very known that very clear that it's not here tonight, and maybe the hug's quick and it's like the face is turned away. So you got to read that word. Oh, cool, yeah. Cool.
If she gives you a fist bump, I think
it's kind of done. It's over, mate. There won't be a date 2. Yeah. But I've had some dates where I've ended it, and I think we've both felt like already before we even say bye, I'm like in my head, we're not going to see each other again.
Of course,
we've both felt flat. I really believe if you're feeling flat, most likely she is too. And for the female audience, if you're feeling flat, he is too. And sometimes if you, I really believe if you're feeling the electricity and the vibe and the connection, most likely they are too. The person you're with. Very rarely is it felt by one, and if that does happen, maybe then you're really misinterpreting it. And maybe allowing yourself to get too excited about it, maybe and seeing it and dreaming that it's more than what it actually is. But usually, if you've got to get good head, about it all, and you're pretty calm and composed and you're really reading it well and you're feeling a good buzz about it, then I think they're going to be most likely feeling the same. So you just have to read that last bit. But I think, by after day 3, if it's not happening, man, you're really risking. And if there is an attraction though, you're really risking falling into the friend zone, Yeah,
definitely.
It becomes very dangerous then, it starts becoming, and I've done that too, man. There's been some girls, especially in LA, there were girls that just hung out too much because I wasn't sure. And here's the thing, there was one in particular, she had so many guy friends, man, that I wasn't sure if I was above that or if I was just one of the boys, one of the guys, or if I was something more. And that's why, guys and girls have to be careful. I used to hang out with a lot of different females as friends as in my early 20s, and I had to start. I remember my brothers and some good friends pulling me up on that. They were like, dude, eventually the girl you really want to be with is not going to know where she stands. She's going to think she's just one of the girls. You got to be that guy who you date girls you're interested in. You can have some female friends and hang out with them, but you don't want to hang out with a bunch every week, and too regularly. So when you do find someone you want to be with, she's like, hey man, Jay's hanging out with me. I know he doesn't do this too often, so I must be someone special to him. He must be interested. It makes them feel special. The same with a guy. If I see a girl, she rarely hangs out with guys and doesn't go out with them too often, and now she's hanging out with me, then it's going to make me feel like maybe there's something there and I feel special, know? So that's important too. But I think that's pretty much it, mate. And what about dating the next one? I think you just have to communicate, discuss
dating
with
the
each
next
other.
one.
Well, when the next date happens and you wait another week, and I think don't be too keen too straight away. I think there's something about.
There's a couple of rules there that you want to adhere to. If you don't want to be the one always texting, and you need a little bit of space, but you don't want it to. You don't want it to
3-day games.
Don't
and
play
all
the
that.
games where it looks like you're playing a game, but also I would always text.
When you get home,
make sure. Let me know when you get home. Blah, blah,
I like
that's common courtesy as a gentleman.
Get them to share. Let me know you got home safe. Yep.
But again, like you said, you just want to read it. You just don't want to be too desperate. If she's not reciprocating the messages back or the calls or whatever it is, then you just give it some time.
Yep.
And wait for her to make a move and be a little bit in control as well.
Yep. Yeah. You got to be strong with all that stuff too. You got to be strong in who you are and what you have to offer as well. You know. Awesome.
Cool, let's move on.
CBAs, mate. There you have it. Boom. Hefty Smurf.
Gut health. Do you want to start on that?
Gut health,
I'm
yes.
Drunk too much water yet again.
Yep. So we got through your notes last time. We're going to continue on with my gut health notes. Firstly, I want to make it clear that there is so many differing opinions on what is good for the gut at times. For instance, some say dairy is bad, and then some people, they push yogurt and kefir as good probiotic food. Some say wheat and gluten is bad, and others say wheat bran and oats are good and good sources of fibers. So ultimately, this must be a personal journey of trial and error, working out what suits your unique digestive system. We did mention in the last episode that our gut is like an Amazon rainforest. Everybody has a unique range of microbiome in the gut. The diversity is different for everyone. So you have to find out what sensitivities you have, what works well with you, what doesn't.
I agree.
Yeah, and it's a trial and error. There are some tests like the microbiome one where they test your poop. My brother and I have actually ordered that thing. It's on its way.
I can't wait to
It's coming
see
here.
that.
Yeah, I'll send you a photo, Rog. Don't worry, mate. I'll send you
It'll
a few.
be on your little news.
I'll send you a
segment.
special,
disgusting
mate,
news.
special delivery.
Jay's dirty news.
Yes. Okay, so, but in saying all that, there are some
Foods to
facts
avoid?
that are agreed on across the board.
Yep.
Right, and I'll try and share some of that with you guys today. We will try and share some of that. So, okay, let's see. Foods to avoid. Alcohol. The alcohol drinkers. You know, every now and then is not bad, and I think a red wine it can be good for you at times if you're gonna, you know,
Red
one of
wine's
the
got a lot of
healthier
benefits,
options.
yeah. It's
one
like
of the
chocolate.
healthier options.
Yeah,
Yes,
especially a dark chocolate. It's good. It's obviously not great for
what's
you.
the
but
phenol? Penny
Polyphenols.
Polyphenols. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, that stuff.
That's
we
what's in
mentioned that last.
the cocoa, the
Yeah.
chocolate, sorry.
Yeah, dark
Yeah.
chocolate. I think is it in red wine too? I believe you had down
I
there.
believe so.
Yeah. Boom. And obviously, gluten is usually said as a bad
Jay.
thing.
Yeah, I just
It
saw
is,
that.
right? Yeah.
Cocoa and dark chocolate, red wine, good sources
Mate,
of
dark
polyphenols.
chocolate and red wine pop off
Yeah.
the page for me,
Yeah.
mate.
Grape
and
skins.
sear into my mind.
Have them every night. Green
Yes.
tea, almonds.
Do you get fed the grape skins, mate, by your wife? And who gets up at 4:30 to
Yes, I
feed
do.
you?
Feed me the grape skins. I
Yes.
want them pre-skinned.
Yes, she has to
Blueberries,
skin them off.
broccolis,
each
onions, all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Boom.
Not all at once.
But foods to avoid are, yes, alcohol, gluten, sugar.
Man, sugar's just not good for anything, is it?
Yeah.
Poor sugar.
That's going to be the next big thing.
I like
now.
sugar. I've
Yeah,
stopped
it's-
drinking. You know, I used to have sugar every single day with my coffee.
Actual raw
That's
sugar,
one-
proper sugar.
Sugar, real sugar.
Yeah,
And,
I have
you know,
stevia every now and then, but I usually
it
have
tastes
black
like
coffee.
shit, man.
Yeah, with
Stevia, it's
coffee,
got nothing
yeah.
like it. It ruins the coffee.
I have it when I have like
Skata. It's
Skata.
Greek. Skata. Is that Greek
Skata?
or Italian? Does that mean
I don't
shit?
know. Oh, really? I know
For the
you're telling
person
me.
listening in Greece,
Sorry. Yes.
not even my wife listens.
Let us
to
know.
this.
Send us an email.
Sorry,
Yeah.
babe. She's listening.
Yeah. No, I have. When I have.
No, wait. I'm talking here.
Yeah. All right. Go for it. No, but stevia not bad. I have it with milk
But it
and
tastes
like.
so bad.
And I only have it when I have like
tastes
instant coffee.
nothing like
instant coffee. Oh my
Instant's
god! I
alright.
can't believe I
You
admitted
know, I used
that.
to have instant coffee. This is from when I was like 13 years old because my mum used to drink it all the time.
Yeah, we grew up with
Man,
that.
young. And
Yeah.
with, like, I used to get home from primary school, I was 13, probably high school,
Mm.
and have set up an instant coffee. And my thing was 5 Scotch finger biscuits. Like,
You the old Scotch finger
man,
biscuits.
5, always 5. And I was like, this is so good. Now I really want one.
Yeah.
I can't because I'm a carnivore now.
Oh,
But anyway,
no
my-
weed, no sugar.
My point was with the carnivore diet, that's so for as long as I can remember, I've in the habit of having at least one coffee in the morning. With it was always 2 sugars, and then I cut it back down to 1, and now I'm acclimatized, accustomed to 1 sugar,
Yep.
and that's still sweet enough for me.
Yep.
But even that, I keep wanting to cut it.
Yeah, I have black coffee, so if it's a
It's so
percolated,
bitter though. Like,
it is. It's an acquired taste. You get
Yeah.
used to it.
and I tried that for a while, but couldn't stick to it. I always,
Yeah.
especially
You're the whiskey
in the
man.
morning. No, it's different.
Straight
But,
whiskey, and he can't do the black coffee, mate.
The carnivore diet, when I started that, that's when I was like, all right, well, I definitely can't have sugar on this.
Yes.
So, but one thing you can sort of have is a little bit of heavy cream because that's
Animal
heavy
product.
animal product.
Ah.
And so I put
That's
a couple
more on the
of-
lenient version of the carnivore
definitely the
diet.
lenient
Yeah.
version, and I'm working my way up to it. But anyway, I put a few drops, just a tiny amount, and that kind of took the edge off. And now I don't need sugar at all in my
Yeah,
coffee.
wow.
You know,
There you go.
thought I'd just throw that in there.
And you might have to put less coffee. Are you having instant coffee though?
It's practically instant. This is the Nespresso.
yeah.
Just out of ease in the morning.
Yeah,
We've
okay.
got a proper coffee machine, but I just can't be bothered warming it up.
I actually love the routine of it all in the morning. It's part of my morning thing, you know.
Yeah, but
so-
this big one, it takes like
yeah,
10
okay.
minutes. You know, I want
Oh,
my
yeah.
coffee because my wife
Yeah.
doesn't wake up at 4:30 in the morning like
Oh
a good
my
woman.
Gosh.
You know,
She
to
should
make
watch
my
that video.
coffee and my breakfast.
Oh, that's one thing we
We're
didn't.
women these days. You
Yeah.
know?
One
I
thing we
wish we were
didn't bring
back
up
in the
about that
50s.
whole trad wives thing is they link it to so many of like the white supremacy and this and that.
Oh, well,
but
I'm a Nazi.
yes, right.
You know.
That's why you've got a white t-shirt on,
Maltese,
mate. You
that's
know,
right.
that's all. What am I then?
I'm not a Nazi.
No, we are joking, guys. As,
even
as
know
I'm
what
sure you
Nazis-
guys can tell by now and know about us that we joke a lot on here. We're trying to be serious. But I will continue on the foods to not eat. So, again, alcohol, gluten, sugar, processed
Eggs.
foods.
What the fuck's eggs doing on there?
Eggs is, well, look, dairy, they say, right? I mean, I did say
that's not dairy.
Dairy shouldn't be on this list, actually. Dairy is, it can be in that range. Some are for it,
Red
some are
meat.
not.
Blasphemy.
Fried foods,
I'm going to go and kill a bull right now.
genetically modified foods, but red meat, I've got question marks there. Not so much just pure clean meat, but antibiotic filled, hormone filled meats, because that
Obviously.
stuff will wreck your guts. Don't eat that kind of chicken. Don't eat that kind of meat. Make sure it's hormone free.
KFC is hormone-free organic, isn't it?
Oh, definitely, mate. Yes, because they like to spend money. You know,
Unlike Red
They're not
Rooster, who
about
like
profit.
to carry their chickens in the back
in
of
the
the
back.
car.
Oh my gosh, I was about to bring up that news
I
today.
don't know if you saw that, guys, but yeah, Red Rooster chickens. They were
Perth.
pre-cooked, weren't they? They must have
Yeah, they were already cooked. They're
Yeah,
getting
but then they
transported
cooked
around
them
in the
again
back seat
in the
of
back
a
of a boot. In a boot.
Yeah, and
trunk.
it was a I believe it was a what's the name, a hatch.
Yeah,
and they
a
had
Red
it all
Rooster
stuffed
hatch.
up in there, not even wrapped up, like
Put the
not even
picture in
any
the,
any
picture in
cardboard
picture,
around
yeah.
the car. It was just
Yeah.
on the right in there. Ugh.
Yeah, with the footy boots. Anyway,
Yeah, right, exactly, in all the dirt.
Disgusting.
Yes, same thing with eggs. If it's cage free, hormone free, grass fed eggs, then it's fine. Red meat, if it's hormone free, antibiotic
Grass-fed.
free, yep, it's fine. Soy and corn products is a big one.
Yeah, they're
if
bad
it's
for you.
unless it's non-GMO, because if it is genetically modified, most of these are filled with pesticides that lead to leaky gut and conditions such as eczema and hives. Farmed fish is not good. You want to get wild-caught salmon, wild-caught tuna, wild-caught fish. Food additives and artificial sweeteners are not good. Most of them like sucralose and all the other ones.
I love Coke Zero.
Yeah, see all that stuff. Yeah, I try and avoid it. But now there's xylitol, I believe, and stevia, the two
Doesn't taste the
artificial sweeteners that are healthy. They're not bad. They don't cause cancer. And there's sodas now you can buy flavored beautifully. I love them, but I have an acquired taste to those
You are
sweeteners.
an acquired taste.
I'm an acquired taste, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
It's taken Roger a bit of time. There's also this thing called lectins and phytates. What's his name? Grundy is his last name. Steve Grundy, I believe. He has that book, like the lectin-free diet.
yeah, we saw
I
that
tried that, for a few months. I saw some results, It's good for autoimmune disease as well. But then you have people like Peterson just saying go straight to meat. Anyway, just quickly on that, these anti-nutrients are found in all gluten-containing grains. Lectins are also found in beans and the nightshade vegetables like tomatoes, eggplant, peppers, and potatoes. That's a hard one.
Capsicum.
Potatoes, I
For
love
you
them.
Australians.
Yes, capsicums, yep, for the Australians, not peppers. Yes, that's what Americans call capsicums. Corn is also high in lectins. Lectins bind to the cells lining your intestines, disrupting the tight junctions between the intestinal cells and creating tiny holes that allow larger partially digested food particles to get through. This disrupts your gut flora, leads to inflammation, eventually causes insulin and leptin resistance, and potentially leads to an autoimmune response. Phytates, another anti-nutrient, interfere with the absorption of important minerals like calcium, iron, magnesium, copper, and zinc. And again, autoimmune diseases are things like eczema, psoriasis, arthritis. There's so many, lupus, right? There's so many. They say it's the body attacking itself, but it's all from food.
Cool.
And then some good foods for the gut quickly is healthy fats, good oils. Olive oil is one of them, coconut. Anyway, nuts and seeds, which are good fats. High fiber, low glycemic carbs like leafy greens and cruciferous, is that how you say it? Cruciferous vegetables like cauliflower and broccoli. Slow carbs like sweet potatoes and butternut squash. So for those potato fans, at least sweet potatoes, you can kind of get your fill in like with them. Yeah, you can you should avoid deep frying. Maybe not deep frying, lightly fry in olive oil or coconut oil. Okay. Hypoallergenic proteins like pea protein, rice, hemp, chia protein, clean and lean proteins, free range poultry, wild caught fish, and grass-fed meats like we've already mentioned. And that's it, guys. That rounds out Hefty Smurf. Gut health.
All right.
We're done. Awesome.
Should be a radio host.
Yeah.
This is G from 106.5. This is
about
drive
gut
time.
health. Yeah. Ooh, healthy fats.
All right. Rap school.
Listener question. Boom.
Hey,
Jinx.
Roger and Jay. Having a bit of an issue with my wife and her relationship with my mum. It's a long story, so I'll keep it super short. But basically, my mum...
Oh, I was going to press. No. That's the one.
Basically, my mum... And now I've lost where I am.
Sorry, say it again.
Which bit?
Start it again.
Hey, Roger and Jay. Having a bit of an issue with my wife. I think that's meant for like aliens and shit.
Well, that's almost like suspense, right?
I guess so. And her relationship with my mum.
All right, I'll finish there.
It's a long story, so I'll keep it super short. But basically, my mum and her don't get along, and my wife is stopping and fighting me when I want to take our kids to visit her. Granted, my mum can be a little bit rude, and it's not really her fault. She's older now and sometimes doesn't choose her words wisely, but she means well. I feel like I'm not going to shut my mum out of my life and the life of our kids, and that my wife should be the bigger person instead of being petty. Don't call it that. It's come to the point where every time I take the kids to visit, which is only every month or two, it's a huge fight. Should I not take them anymore to keep my wife happy? Do I keep fighting her on it? What do you think, John?
It's a tough one.
Yeah. I think, based on what you said, John, it's very hard. It seems unreasonable to want to cut your mum out of your life, especially for the kids, especially for you.
It's family. This is family, yeah.
So if your wife's going to fight you on it every single time you're going to go and visit, you kind of I believe you kind of have to weather that. I could not imagine going through that with my wife.
Yeah, that'd be,
which would never happen, but there's no way I could do that. And even if, like, you're saying that your mother is a little bit older and doesn't choose her words wisely, so I get the impression that she might be a bit rude or something to the mum.
Yep.
Doesn't seem like it's anything
The mum might be
serious.
a bit rude, like sometimes, yeah.
But she's older. She's not going to be around forever. Maybe your wife needs to be perhaps a little bit more understanding and maybe the bigger person, as you said.
Yeah.
But cut and dry for me, I would keep pushing it and find a way to say, look, I'll be honest, babe, like this is just going to keep happening. I can't cut my mum out of my kid's life or my life. It's only every month or two, which is hardly anything anyway.
That's
you don't have to come. we're just gonna go out.
Yeah, she doesn't have to go all the time. Yeah.
Just try and come to some kind of compromise, or sit down with her and say, look, what's the problem? How can we resolve it? Is there a way we can compromise? Because there's no way I'm going to do that to my kids, to our kids.
I think it's very important for the kids to have a relationship with their grandmother.
Yeah.
And look, who knows how long. You need to respect your mum. You need to respect your parents, especially if they are good people. Unless they've been abusive or whatever, then it's healthier to stay away from them. But in this case, it's not. She's just probably getting a bit older, and sometimes, you're not thinking as well anymore, and maybe not choosing your words well. So the wife being a more mentally stable, young adult, still relatively, I'm guessing young, everything functioning healthy adult. She needs to be the person who steps up here and becomes, is the mature one. And look, she doesn't have to go all the time as well. She shouldn't be forced, especially when it's not pleasant for her. But definitely the kids should go. Maybe every second month she joins, and then every other month you go with the kids. You don't know how long you have your mum for. You'll regret it when she's gone. And also, again, this is just people skills, and part of being in a relationship, we need to compromise, and maybe he can also have a word with his mum if that is possible. If he can on his own go and see her and have a private talk with her and say, "Mum," and don't make it look like the wife's complaining or saying anything, but maybe bring it up maybe as if it's bothering him personally. That maybe the mum says things like that, and maybe says to his mum, "I think it upsets my wife a little. I see her." She's not saying anything or whatever, but, maybe you can just try and sort it out in that way as well, and try and bring some peace between the mother and his wife. But I definitely don't think he should cut her out, definitely. And the kids should still have her in their lives.
Cool. I agree. There you go, John. Straightforward.
Johnny.
Boom moments. Do you want to, not boom. Yeah, boom moments.
Boom moments, mate.
How about you hit us with your...
All right. I really like this one. I think this is one we could really do well for ourselves by reading it out and starting the day off with it. It's by Marcus Aurelius, and this is it. Who you arise. I did not write that properly.
You built this up so dramatically.
Yes, right.
Oh man,
I must have been punching through. It's when.
When
I meant to write when.
When you arise. Okay, start this again. Go.
Yes. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. It's very simple.
Good old Marco.
Good old Marco, mate.
Marco
Marcus Aurelius.
M.A., my boy.
M.A., mate.
That's pretty good, actually.
M.A., as long as he's not
Nice
M.I.A. Yes, beautiful one to just... When the shit's hitting the fan, when you're stressed out, it could be worse. Hey?
Could always be worse.
You know what? You're still here.
Yeah.
And because you're still here, you're still breathing, you still can think, you have the opportunity to enjoy life and to love still. Because you're still here, you have options still. You can still plan things. You have the power to change things. You have options, you have freedom, you have choice. That's a beautiful thing, man. If we can really come to a full realization of that every single day when we get up or whenever we're down, I think that would make a big difference in our lives.
It's hard to do that though, but
it is hard, man. It's hard to really take that in and appreciate it and really understand and fully fathom what that means and what a blessing it is. Like I think I've mentioned before, part of my morning routine is writing 5 things I'm grateful for every morning.
That's what I was gonna say,
and many times I write, I'm alive. I'm grateful that I'm alive.
Because I used to have a diary and it had your appreciation every day, and I'd write things, but I'd just be writing things just like, all right, I'll fill it in,
Yeah, you can get there, but I try then,
bad.
if I'm just ticking things off if it becomes something I'm just trying to tick off in the morning, then I make an effort to sit back and say, no, you don't need to rush through this. Really think about what's making you happy today. It could be that, I had a good audition yesterday. I'm grateful that I have an audition tomorrow maybe, or I'm grateful my family is still alive, or I have the ability to pursue what I want to do right now, or I have a US citizenship, or EU citizenship, little things like that. But being alive is a big one. Sometimes when I can't think of anything, I'm alive. That really whoa, I am so grateful for that. Death is I think about death a little too much, but so I'm very well aware that one day it's going to end for me, and so while I'm still here, I'm going to bloody enjoy it, mate, and I'm going to make the most out of it.
Good hair as well, mate.
Thanks, buddy.
Now, my boom moment. This is a really brief story about when I was 13. I was playing went to Waverley College, which is a high school in Sydney, and
is that a sports school or an art school?
No, it's a regular school.
Okay, cool.
And they're pretty good in swimming, but that's about all they were. I loved basketball, but obviously when I was in primary school, like I never played it in any kind of competition, just on the court there that we had that was like slanted at 20 degrees anyway.
Oh my
You know,
gosh.
it was just whatever. And I was pretty excited because Waverley College had proper basketball, indoor courts, and it was like, oh my God, it's like the timber floors. Exactly
Yeah,
what I
wow,
see,
that's exciting,
you know?
hey?
Anyway, and I went there and did the trials, and I made the 13Es, which was the second lowest team that you could make. But one of our games, I remember my parents used to always come, or most of the time used to come to the games. And basketball wasn't a sport that my parents were into, it was soccer. But they would still come to this. And one day it was like a timeout or a halftime, and my dad had come down from the rafters and, you know, given me a kind of pep talk right in like in the main area there where all the players and everything were, not on the court, but just off the court.
Yeah,
And was like, you know, I can't remember what he said, but it was, you know, you should do this. And when this guy does that, make sure you do this and then you shoot or whatever it was. Right. It was pretty intense. And I remember at the time, you know, I would just be thinking, oh, like, don't embarrass me. Like, stop talking. Like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. You know, that kind of little arrogant little kid. Because my dad would do that kind of stuff all the time. And I wouldn't appreciate it at the moment. And now as I get older, I appreciate things like that. And I don't know why I remembered this story.
That he even wanted to be involved. That he even
and
gave a shit, like that he cared.
in
you know?
basketball, of all things, as well. And like, it just means well. You know what I mean? And my Mr. Forrester, who was this 6 foot something, I say this endearingly, black sport PE teacher.
Yeah.
And we all looked up to him because he looked like this big American black guy that, you know,
Athletic,
and we, you know, I looked up to people because I see them all in the NBA, and I was like, cool, he's so cool, because he was really cool as well.
Yeah, wow.
And he had walked past, and I remember kind of seeing him in my periphery. Anyway, the next week we were in PE class, and he brought it up, and he said it was something along the lines of, like, isn't it great? You know, I saw Roger there, and his dad came down, and even though he was in the, you know, a lower team, he still took the game seriously and was there to win. And his dad was, and we were coaching together. His dad came down and spoke to me, and we were discussing, you know, how we can improve. Basically, is what he saw. Even though it's just like a friendly game, like, you know, in the 13Es, Waverley College, didn't mean anything.
The last
He
place
saw
you'd
that.
probably expect something
Yeah.
like that happening, maybe in the A's or
Yeah.
something, right?
And I
Yeah.
remember that, and it's like, he was trying to get the message across that it doesn't really matter. You should always give it 100% and do your best and try and win, which is something I really am passionate about. It's like, if you're going to play to win.
Yeah.
I hate this business of participation bullshit and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, give it your 100%. No one should get a token victory like we talked about with the Academy Awards. It should be earned. And in sport, at least it's very... It's mathematical. It's like you win or you lose. You score more points, you score less points. It's not subjective. You know what I
Easily
mean?
measured. Hey,
Very
it's
easily
very
measured.
measurable, yeah.
You know, there's always, you know, discrepancies with referees, but generally it's very well measured.
Yep.
And for some reason, I remember that in the last week or so.
That's
and then
awesome,
I
man.
appreciate my
Yeah.
dad saying that and taking it seriously, and especially with me, because I take it seriously, and I didn't appreciate it at the time. But Dad, if you ever watch this, I appreciate it now. And it was
Thanks,
good. And it was
Dad.
good that, my teacher saw that, and that made me respect him. Like, I got attention from this cool teacher that I was really looking up to, and then he made me a referee.
That's
and all
awesome.
that kind of stuff. And
For other basketball games
Yeah.
or something? Yeah, oh, cool, man.
so it was cool. That was
Don't
a
you just
cool
love
moment.
and respect a good teacher too,
Yeah.
eh?
Yeah.
And it's such an
Mr.
important,
Forrester.
you know, like job. It's a privilege to do what
Yeah.
they do, and they've chosen this path. It's and it's an important job they do. You know,
Yeah.
and some of them choose to just not respect it. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
and they don't look at the importance of it. I had some bad teachers in high school, but we won't go there in this episode, mate. Thank you. What was his name?
Mr. Forrester.
Mr. Forrester, shout out to Mr. Forrester too. Yeah, boy. Awesome, man.
done.
All right, that is done.
get
Is
out
that
of here.
episode 8?
Episode 8 is done.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Getting
listening.
out of here. Awesome. Thanks, guys. If you're still around, listening, yep. Boom.
See you
Brother.
later.
Great. Guys, share the episode if you liked it.
Yes.
Give us a liking, a comment. Share it on
Mr.
social
John Paul
media.
Pace on Instagram. RBJS if you're listening to this, hit us up on YouTube, Roger and Pace. If
At
you're
Roger
on
and
YouTube,
Pace, yep.
subscribe to us on your favorite podcast network, whether it be Apple. Overcast is my choice. That's a great app.
Nice.
Otherwise, go fuck yourself. Sorry, no. I'm out of here. Don't cut that.
Yeah,
You can leave that.
Sorry, guys.